So our last problem here, our last video, we're going to find the inverse of a function. So we're going to go through those 4 steps that we do to find an inverse. We replace f of x with y. So let's see, where can I write? Y equals x over x plus 2. And then we're going to switch the x and y. So x equals y over y plus 2. And then we have to solve for y. So the first thing we're going to do is going to multiply both sides by y plus 2. So that's going to give us x times y plus 2 equals y. You can think of it as a proportion if you wanted to, but that's how it looks. And then the idea is we want to get y by itself. So I tried to pick one that wasn't just linear, so it'd be a little more involved. But you can see that there's 2 y's in our expression, but on the left, we're going to go ahead and distribute, get xy plus 2x equals y. And now here you have to make a decision. Either you're going to leave the 2x on the left, or you're going to move the 2x to the right and move the y to the left. I'm going to leave the 2x on the left in this first part, and then I'll show you what happens the other way because I want to point something out. But I'll have 2x equals y minus xy. Okay, I'm going to take this and come up here. So now I have 2x equals, and the reason we want to do that, the reason why we multiplied things out, we have 2 terms with y in them, and so we're going to get those 2 terms on one side so we can factor that y out. So it's going to look like y times 1 minus x in this case. And now we only have one y in the expression. We can divide both sides by 1 minus x, you know. And so we're going to get, well, I'll just put y equals, I don't want to write it that way. Make these decisions here. 2x over 1 minus x equals y. Or we want to put that back into inverse notation, and so we want to say f inverse of x equals 2x over 1 minus x. And that's a great answer. I think if I were looking in most textbooks, that's how they would put the answer. So it's beautiful. But what if you hadn't gone that route? So I'm going to do an alternative thing here. This is what I want to show you. So it came from right here, this line right here, come over here, when we had xy plus 2x equals y. And let's say you wanted the y's on the left for some reason. So you said xy minus y equals negative 2x. So you put the 2x on the right-hand side and you brought the y over to the left-hand side. That is fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Okay, now you're going to go through kind of a similar process. Factor out the y, and you get x minus 1 equals negative 2x. You're going to do the division, and you're going to have negative 2x over x minus 1. The answer then you're going to get, like, not you personally, but like if a person did it this way, their answer is going to look like this. F inverse of x is equal to negative 2x over x minus 1. And so you might say, well, that looks a bit different than the one we did first, you know, the answer that we had in the first. But they're really the same answer. So it's a matter of preference. Did you want to have x minus 1 in the denominator, or did you want to have 1 minus x in the denominator? Some people don't like to have 1 minus x. Maybe there's a reason why you don't want to have that. But some people say, well, the fewer negative signs, the better. And so recognize that those are the same answer. If you're having trouble recognizing that, let me show you a little bit here. So if you were to take this and keep your 2x and write as negative 1 down in the denominator, so think of your negative sign going down to the denominator, you're allowed to do that. Then you would have 2x, and then if you distributed, you'd have negative x plus 1, which would be the same thing as 2x over 1 minus x. So they really are the same expression. It's just a matter of which is preferred. And I can't tell you that they always would want the one that we've written in black or if they'd always want the one that's written in blue. Both are acceptable. Just kind of depends on the situation. Okay, so with that happy note, that finishes off our first section on functions.